Welcome back, Marion County Library goers. Welcome to class 3 of Bullet Journaling Basics. Again, my name is Sophia, and I'm so excited that you've come back for our third class. Today we're going to be talking about habit trackers and mood trackers. This is some of my favorite parts of bullet journaling. I love to be able to go back at the end of the month and kind of see how my month went. It's a great place to keep track of goals and hopes and dreams, and keep track of your projects. And I think it's one of the more unique parts of bullet journaling, and it is a really fun type of tracker. So without further ado, grab your notebooks and let's jump into the voiceover. All right, everyone, please excuse the snoring dog. She just wants to be a part of the video. But right now, we're actually going to set up our mood tracker and our habit tracker. There's a lot of different ways to do this, so I thought I would show you some of my past ones to give you a little bit of inspiration. And I pulled out some of my absolute favorites. So here's a mood tracker that I did for an October spread. Each one of the little ghosts and pumpkins are a day of the month, and depending on what type of face they had determined my mood for that month. It was a super, super fun one to do. And then here is a habit tracker that I've really enjoyed. I actually picked out what I was going to be doing, and I wrote down the dates, and then I colored them in. Here's another version of that. This is actually a Frozen themed one, and that was really fun. And then in some of my other journals, I marked off some of these other pages that I think you would enjoy. Here is a Winnie the Pooh spread for the mood. So depending on the color of my honey pot determined how I was feeling. This was actually a Moana spread. Here's an example of a calendar spread that you can do. And then I actually made Te Kā, and depending on her burning lava rock color determined how I was feeling. Here is a habit tracker that I did. I actually made mini calendars for each section, and then colored them in. Let's see. Oh, here's a Finding Nemo. And this one I did, instead of having the numbers, I did the shapes of the calendar spreads, and then, just filled in the dots. And then for this mood tracker with bubbles, depending on the size of the bubble determined how I was feeling. More habit trackers, and then this was an Alice in Wonderland themed. So depending on the suit of the card and the color determined my mood. But for this time, I think we're going to do something a little bit different. One that I've been a style that I've really been enjoying is this one. And this is a more traditional bullet journal spread. So what you actually have here is the days of the month lined up, and then across the top are the different habits that you would like to be keeping track of. And that way you make the little dots that go all the way down. And I really like that because I think this next to a mood tracker can be really helpful to see actually how you were doing for that month. So let's go ahead and jump into doing this one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with our mood tracker. For this, I'm actually going to be using these Crayola Super Tip markers. I'm feeling a grassy, plain with little flower type of theme for July. I think it's gonna be summery and beautiful. So for this spread, we're actually going to be making, I'm going to be making our grassy plain, and depending on my energy level, the flowers that I'm going to draw are going to go from being short to tall. So for each day, I'll be drawing a little stem, and depending on my mood, I'll be using a different color. So for example, I'm thinking using these colors. So maybe feeling happy, feeling meh or okay, and maybe I'm having a little bit of bad day, so we'll use purple. So to start that off, I'm gonna go ahead and get our grass in, and I'm feeling like a grassy, plain, how it kind of curves out, and maybe I'll add some grass and, just try to get it started here. Maybe add, and then, your grass kind of comes down and kind of like that. It'll look a lot better once you start filling it in and having some more flowers. But I think I'm going to start with that. And then at the bottom, you're going to want to put a key so you remember how you're feeling. So like we talked about, if we have a flower that's yellow, and we'll do pink. And these are just doodle flowers. They don't, I already did that color. They don't have to be anything super technical. And then I'm going to use here. And I just like to make little smiley faces on them. So we had a good day. Maybe my day was just kind of normal. And then maybe I didn't have the best day. I'll put down at the bottom. And then just to kind of get you started so you can see, to make our little flower, just as an example, the higher it goes up, the better mood I was in. So I'm going to make one here and maybe just do another one over here. And I'm going to add my flowers. I'm going to do them in a color I haven't used, which is this goldenrod color. And I'm just going to make some little petals here. For my flowers. Really, really simple. And then I think across the top, I'm going to label it Mood Tracker. There we go. So that's going to be it for our mood tracker. And let's move on to our habit tracker here. First thing we're going to do is you're going to want to make sure you have enough spots for the days of the week. So I went ahead and counted out 31 spots and left some room at the top for me to write. So we're going to go ahead and line ourselves up here. I think we're going to use that same marker in green that I had before. I really like green. It's my favorite color. What's your guys' favorite color? Leave it in the comments below. Whoops. There we go. Perfect. All right, and now we're going to add our numbers down the side. All right, we have our numbers down the side, and then we'll erase my pencil marks. And then across the top here is where you're going to add what you're actually going to be tracking. So some things I really like to track is if, some pretty basic ones. I always like to start off my day in prayer. So I'm going to mark down pray. And then another one that I like to do is maybe a workout. Trying to decide. I feel like with COVID, things have been a little bit different. Oh, I've been trying to make a better effort to sit down and read. No spending. I like to challenge myself to not spend money for a day, and I like to mark that down. Let's do one more. How about taking my dog on a walk? All right, we're going to start there. Sometimes during the month, I'll actually end up adding more, and I'll actually mark in the page where I started that. Something that I think is really helpful to do to kind of keep track is use your marker and kind of mark here like the off section so it's easier to keep track of. So like for pray, just take it and almost use it as a highlighter. Go all the way down. we go. And for every time that you complete that habit, what you're gonna do is just add a little dot. And that's it, and it will fill up. But let's go ahead and label this over on this side. And we're just going to write habit. All right, and there we have it. So let's go ahead and do our flip through. So of course we are planning on doing our cover page in a little while. I like to leave that to the end as the best part. We have our calendar spread, and then next we have our mood tracker and our habit tracker. Next up, we are going to go ahead and start doing our weekly spreads, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to do the trackers for your different tasks. But thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.